Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, sorry for the wait. I realized at the last minute that I wanted to upload a clip, so y'all won't just be taking my word for it. Because I know some people will come in, ain't what happened. That's, this and that. But I'm here now. Sorry for the wait. Thanks for hanging in there with me. But let's go ahead and get this conversation going.
To all, Father God, just thank you. We give all honor and praise to the Son, Jesus Christ. Yes, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. We got my man back. We got my man back. Let Dr. Engine go in.
All right, people. We know the story. You got sellouts in every community, whether they searching for attention or not. I'm going to just call them sellouts because they can be just simply know what they stand is wrong. But at the same time, people real life's going to be affected by that damn vote. And I know all over social media, people are just running around. Oh, yes. I mean, now we back. We can have all our money back the way we used to have it. And the reason why Kamala didn't win, because she wasn't going to do nothing for the United States. Trump going to make us rich all over again. You got these people. You wasn't rich when he was in office. So what make you think you're going to be rich now? And then you got all these people that's food and think, oh, the cost of bread. Everybody felt it. I felt it. You felt it. But what different? I mean, other countries are feeling it. We're not the only one going through a bad economy right now. The economy is bad, not to deny that. But that's not the reason people voted Trump in. Trust me, it's not. They feel like minorities don't came over and, the numbers are starting to get big. That's making them a minority in their own country. And they want to I'm going to simply say it this way. They want to keep America white. Okay. When people went to that damn ballot box and cast that vote, it was almost like going to the Greyhound station, purchasing a ticket out of the country. Because basically at the end of the day, that's what the hell they doing. But people want to run around, whether they got paid from the Trump people or not, to air on social media about, oh, Trump is this, Trump is that. I'm just telling you this. We all made it through Trump the first time. We will make it through. Well, some of us make it through on the other side of the border. Because this conversation we better get into is for real, people. It's for real. And I just want y'all to know this is crazy, but this is exactly what's going on. They want to keep it white. They feel like they outnumbered. And so, hey, let's just get rid of the Latinos, the Hispanics. Oh, well, shit, Bob, we ain't got to worry about it. They voted for us to get rid of them. Now, what kind of sense do that make? But not all Latinos and Hispanics voted for this. So I'm not saying it. Like, we got the Charleston whites. They got they people who forgot where the hell they came from and cast their vote in the hell with their cousin. They didn't give a damn about Pedro, Jose. Charleston white didn't give a fuck about Tyrone, Tina. You see what I'm saying? Like, people forget. But this is a real thing, and everybody want to walk around and act like it's a joke. And for you and I, we know it's not. Like I said, it's them first, the Hispanics and Latinos. They gonna narrow it down. They ain't gonna stop. Then the blacks are next. Trust me. That's how it's gonna go down. But let's get into this video right here.
When you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was.
Hold on, make sure.
But I want to know how it is you voted for Donald Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States. If you were to deport all illegal immigrants, if you were to think very hard about letting in any Muslims, all of this would slow the rate at which whites are becoming a minority.
Why are you so worried about the white dispossession of America?
Because I want my people to survive. Is that so strange? We don't control China. We don't control any place where whites are not a majority. And If we become a minority, we will not control our own destiny anymore.
I grew up in this country as a minority, as the children of immigrants. I was their first child born in America. And while I didn't have much possession or didn't much control, I really enjoyed myself. And I think that if you ask a lot of Americans, they would say that I had a lot to offer this country. You know, according to you, I guess I would be perpetuating the dispossession of white America.
That is true. That is true.
Would you say that you wouldn't want me in this country?
At some point, when my ancestors built this nation, they did not build it with the intention of giving it away to Mexicans or Chinese or Haitians or to anyone else.
Do you consider, you keep saying your ancestors built this country, you consider that a fact?
Who else built it?
Black people, Native Americans, Chinese people who came and built the railroads.
Do you think none of that could have been
Italian
achieved?
people.
But they're Europeans, aren't they?
Okay, people. Look, there we have it. And look, when a person can go on camera and say what the hell he just said, it's for real, people. They're arrogant now. He said, the hell, the blacks, the Mexicans, the Latinos, nobody built this shit. And he said, if they did, the white people could have did it alone. They didn't need them. But at this point, he said, all y'all got to get the hell on. He left off the blacks in that. The guy asked him straight up, so would you want me in this country? Hell no. I mean, it's time for you to go now. And people went to the ballot and voted for that. You know, they voted for it. And then you get the other blacks that, you know, it's not our turn yet. Well, it's always been our turn in America. Let's keep it real. We always got the shorter end of the stick. What I'm saying is people go out there and vote for Trump right now thinking, oh, well, it's just the Latinos, the Hispanics he going to do it to. You know, we need them out of the country. Don't you get it? By voting, you just as dumb as the ones, the Hispanics and the Latinos who voted to be deported. You see what I'm saying? So for me, it's crazy. Ain't nowhere in hell. You know, that man ain't messing around. He don't damn went out there. His plan is an operation. Now, it ain't gonna kick off. That they doing preparations right now. But January 20th, mark it down on your calendar. Write it on your wall. And hell, if you ain't here legally and your cousin don't voted for Trump to deport you, write it on your backpack because that's what you're gonna need when you go to these prison camps. Well, I'm gonna call it prison. Well, I ain't gonna call it prison camps. Detention centers on base. And you know, in our conversation, we just gonna call them cages because that's how they gonna make you live. Let's keep it real. It ain't none of this nice shit. The man just said he said, I want all minorities gone. We breathing up the white man's air. That's what the hell he said. He ain't bullshitting. And Trump over in the corner don't hire this new border czar. And you can hear him saying it right now.
The wall just got 10 feet taller. The wall just got 10 feet taller. The wall just got 10 feet taller.
Right. 10 feet taller. And those buses have gotten full because they going to pick up people. They ain't bullshitting. I want you to hear what his new border czar says, right? And it's just crazy. His border czar ain't messing around. And he sound worse than the guys. Well, at least the other guy, well, both of them being straight up. The other guy said, hey, I don't want your kind around. It's time for y'all to pack y'all shit and leave. Now, here comes his border czar.
It would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
I don't care what anybody's opinion is on illegal immigration. When you create a crisis this big, all these other bad things happen. That's why we have to secure the border. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or independent. Border security is national security.
Look, people, y'all heard the man. Y'all heard him. Y'all heard the man. He said he don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He don't give a damn the price. When a lady said, look, sir, but what if you're going to be separating families? He said, I don't give a damn about the ones who don't supposed to be here or the ones that's here. He said we can deport the whole damn family, even the baby and Huggies. He don't give a damn, right? But people want to say it's the economy. They ain't mentioned shit about the price of. Think about it. I want y'all to think about this. Since he so-called won this election, and maybe we'll get into that shit another day, how he did it, or possibly he could have did it. But look, have anybody mentioned a plan? And it's Prop 2025. Well, Project 2025. Have they mentioned or closing down the borders? Have anybody heard him hire one damn person that's coming out saying, hey, you know, this is our plan to lower the bread cost, the cost of gas, eggs, or your light bill? Ain't no one said a damn thing. What they want to do is get people the hell out of the United States. Let's keep it real. So when people want to keep saying economy, if it was so bad, the economy, where's the plans? Wouldn't they be talking about it? Wouldn't they be hiring people, a specialist for the economy? No, they hiring bus drivers to bust people ass out of America. They ain't talked about the price of bologna and cheese. Let's keep it real. So for all these people that run around, oh yeah, well, I can see why the economy was bad. Well, he's gonna make it great again. He ain't told you one damn plan how he gonna lower the cost of food. He too busy trying to line the buses up for January 20th. Let's keep it real. But now you got Hispanics starting to want to wake up, you know, and realize he's deporting whole families. He's going to be deporting whole families. And I simply got to say, at this point, I don't care. I don't care because when people come down to vote, they wasn't worried about our issues. People who stayed at home wasn't worried about it. And they want to live with this notion, America has spoken. I don't care. Blame your cousins. Blame the relatives that went out there and voted against your best interest. But I don't care. They talking about whole families. They don't give a damn if you was a citizen and got 5 kids or if you was illegal. They gonna come and swipe the whole damn family up. Let's keep it real. They swiping up the whole damn family. And let's get into somebody speaking about how Latinos and Hispanics is gonna be faced with a lot of shit coming on January 20th.
Telling what he just said, you realize that when he says, yes, families can be deported together, what he is saying is that U.S. citizens can be deported. What he is saying is if the parent is undocumented and they have U.S. citizen children or U.S. citizen spouse, or and you don't want to separate them, then let's deport the U.S. citizens. Look, Donald Trump won the electoral vote. He won. He's going to win the House. He won the Senate. For all effects and purposes, he's got the Supreme Court. They've given him immunity. This is what the country voted for. This is, you know, a lot of people thought that when he talked about mass deportations, he wasn't being serious. I don't know how many times he had to say it for people to realize he was being serious. Well, if you thought he wasn't being serious, the appointment of Tom Homan today as border czar, and he will be in charge of a mass deportation program, the largest the country has ever seen, they say. And now Stephen Miller, as deputy chief of staff, should let you know that he was absolutely serious. And when you talk about mass deportations, people think, oh, it's just going to be the criminals. There's not enough criminals, aliens in the federal prison system for it to be mass deportations. What it means is grandmothers. What it means is brothers and aunts. What it means is abuelos y abuelas. It means dreamers. It means family members. It means your colleagues. It means your friends. It means people who are part of the society. And look, America, you know, those of you who voted for Trump, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for. You screwed around and you're about to find out.
Well, you know, it's sad. It's sad to say. But people, people about ready to find out. They gonna find out as they busting people out of this country, flying them out the country by plane, boat, trains, and automobiles, getting people out. They gonna realize it. The blacks who want to go and vote for him gonna realize they paycheck ain't got no damn bigger. They situation for people want to go, my life was so great under his presidency. That shit ain't got no better. And it probably ain't gonna get no better now, because sometimes it wasn't the system. A lot of times it's your ass while you was in that situation. But either way, you will find out hard times is coming January 20th. And I ain't saying it to scare nobody. Everybody here know this is what's going on. And people think it's a joke. You know, oh, Trump's cool. Well, last time I checked, he's a rapist. Okay. What's so cool about that? Oh, Kamala did this. They don't give a damn about what he did, and even the churches, whether you pro-life or not. Do you want somebody doing this to your daughter? If you was a preacher over these, you know, all these religious people saying they vote for him because he's pro-life, but you forget about the felons that he have committed? Have you? Obviously, you look over that. And hell, I'm starting to think it ain't really about pro-life with these religious people neither. I think they want people out the damn country. And you know, it don't fall far from the tree. Trump loves the idea. He loved Hitler, right? And it's his moment to pull his Hitler thing going on. He loved Hitler. He loved Hitler.
Nazi leader had, quote, done. Let's start with this one. Former President Donald Trump allegedly praised Adolf Hitler, saying the Nazi leader had, quote, done some good things. According to a new book, The Return of Great Powers by CNN's Jim Sciutto, retired General John Kelly, who of course served as White House Chief of Staff in the Trump administration, recounted several conversations where Trump spoke favorably about Hitler. From the book, quote, he said, well, but Hitler did some good things, Kelly said of one conversation with Trump. I said, well, what? And he said, well, Hitler rebuilt the economy. But what did he do with that rebuilt economy? He turned it against his own people and against the world. And I said, sir, you can never say anything good about the guy. Nothing, end quote. Trump also admired Nazi officers' loyalty to Hitler, according to Kelly. The book quotes, he would ask about the loyalty issues and about how, when I pointed out to him the German generals as a group were not loyal to him. And Trump's late wife, Ivana Trump, quote, told her lawyer, Michael Kennedy, that from time to time her husband reads a book of Hitler's collected speeches, My New Order, which he keeps in a cabinet by his bed. So
people, look, this is a real thing. This is a real thing. And everybody know his personality. He look up to dictators. Am I right or wrong? He look up to them. He admire them. He want to be on their level. He want to be there. And basically what he's doing now is basically what Hitler did. In 1941, autumn 1941, approximately 338,000 Jews remained in Greater Germany until Hitler decided to put their ass on camps. They want to get rid of the Jews. They feel the same way that white people feel today. When I say white people, the ones that's racist, like Trump and the guy that spoke earlier, right? They feel like Hitler didn't want to be the minority. He wanted to kick all the Jews out. He thought they was, growing in numbers too fast. The same way over here, Trump now think that the minorities are growing too fast. So they want it all to them damn self. And that's what they're doing, and it's crazy. They did the same thing. They did the Jews the same way. Put them on these camps, right? While they go about their business until they can find a way to get rid of them. That's the same thing they're going to be doing when they busting people, Latinos and Hispanics, to these military bases. And like I said, I would say detention camps. I'm going to say cages. They're going to store them there until they can get them out of America. That's just my opinion. That's how I see it, and it's crazy. It's crazy. And Trump is fascinated with Hitler. We all don't heard the stories. You know what I'm saying? We all have heard them. And it's just crazy. But give me 1 second. Let me see something. And it's crazy. And he's going step by step. The same plans Hitler did. That's what Trump's doing. But everybody want to ignore it. Oh, it's the economy. It's the economy until next year, after January 20th, you're going to find out your food prices didn't go down. Your electricity didn't go down. And when half your family has been deported, you know, you ain't going to feel the same way. This is crazy. And let's get to this next video, because this is sort of crazy and I ain't making this shit up. I need these videos to try to prove my point.
Themes and choices of his words this weekend are significant. The former president again repeating language that echoes white supremacists. Trump saying that illegal immigration is poisoning the blood of our country. And on Sunday, that migrants are invading from foreign prisons and mental institutions. Suffice to say, he offered no proof for any of that. Among others, former New Jersey governor and Trump GOP rival Chris Christie called Trump disgusting and his words dog whistling. The Biden campaign, meantime, responded to those poisoning comments, saying that Donald Trump parroted Adolf Hitler. Now, about 15 years before he systematically murdered millions of people, Hitler put that phrase in Mein Kampf, quote, "Great civilizations died out as a result of contamination of the blood," calling it a poison to the national bloodstream and infecting public life. Hitler was warning about German blood being, as he described it, poisoned by Jews. At his prior event in New Hampshire last month, Trump also used the word vermin to describe his political rivals. Comments that were condemned by President Biden, as well as language you heard in Nazi Germany. Now, is that an accurate claim? Hitler's Nazi Party came to power partly by pounding the idea that the German government was being overrun by Marxists, something that Trump has suggested now is happening in the United States for years. When he wrote about rooting out Marxists and Jews, Hitler wrote, quote, "There was time enough at home at least to exterminate this vermin."
Okay, people, y'all see what I'm talking about? Let's keep it real. He used the same terminology. When I say step by step, he's trying to follow Hitler's plan. He's been fascinated. His wife said that, hell, he spent more time to the book next door to, you know, on his nightstand than he did to her. He's obsessed with these dictators. That's the life he wants. And a lot of people just gave it to him. That the man said, like right now, he in office now, he would do anything to be a dictator. He would try to change our whole political system. If he couldn't admit that he lost an election, now that he in, do you think he gonna leave this time? Do you think he gonna up and leave? And he got all this shit, people. He was raised this way. He was raised this way by his damn father, and his father wasn't too much better. He just wasn't. Wasn't better. Let me see. I got something too, if I can find it. Look, people. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. 1927, Donald Trump's father was arrested at a Klan rally in Queens. Now, we all know that he refused to rent the blacks. We don't see Trump racist ways. His father was a Nazi that believed in Hitler. And now Trump is doing the same thing. But y'all just gave him, well, the America just gave him the power to exercise his dream and try to fulfill it. Father, arrested. And everybody know his record, but I just wanted to pull something out because people say, oh, no, he's not. And all that shit. No, he is. And it's pathetic. It's just pathetic. And that's where we at. You know, so I want to come on here today and really just talk about this shit because I feel like you got to see more background, not just the rhetoric that they throw out there today. You get all these black people right now. Oh, it's because of the economy. You know, Trump gonna make us rich again. He ain't never made you rich, ma'am, sir. I mean, did you do it for a stimulus check that you gonna turn around and spend it all at overpaid grocery stores? Because none of that shit gonna change. You can go with the tariffs and all this shit, but Americans pay for that. They won't even tell you how much the tariffs going to cost the people in the United States. They ain't told you one plan how they going to make your life better. They told you the plan how they plan on making their life better by getting rid of the minorities, starting with the Hispanics and the Latinos. And they have no line on which ones they kick out. Like they separated innocent families and shit, you know, and put them in cages in Texas, Arizona, all these places. They ain't going to give a damn about who they kick out the country this time. Trust and believe. They ain't going to give a damn. They ain't going to care, people. So when people running around, it's the economy, and then get mad when you say it's not the economy. That shit is about race. It's about race, people. That's what I think. And that's how I fucking feel. That's where we at. That shit is about that. So when you go to bed tonight, don't be thinking there's going to be some sweet dreams. I don't want you to go there dreaming in fantasy land. I want you to go to bed tonight thinking about reality. What's real? What the hell's going to happen? What's going to happen? What up, Melly Mill? How you doing, my brother?
Hey, how you doing? That was good research. You know how I feel. I mean, I didn't vote for him, and everything you said, I was, this is where we at. It's true. We gave a spoiled, old child basically the power to this country, and it makes absolutely no sense. And I think also, we also can't forget Elon Musk and these other people. Like there's these people controlling our media and corporation. And they manipulated all these people. And I think The View also said a couple of days ago that basically the voter now currently does not want to be educated. All they want to do is be told how much money they're going to get and what to do. And they get that from podcasts and from other propaganda. And, this man makes this stuff up as he goes. Now, during the campaign, he didn't really talk about as much stuff. It was just an interview with one of his other soldiers, I want to say. They were on ABC, and he was talking about immigration. And the reporter showed him a video of people crying, saying, well, I was here for 30 years. And he went back to, I want to get unelected bureaucrats out of Washington, D.C. That's a part of that campaign of draining the sewer. These are the people that he can't control. I think it was a gentleman who's in charge of money or something. And the reporter asked him, when Donald Trump gets here, you leave? And the man said no. So those are the people that he wants to get out because they can't be intimidated. He want to change the rules and everything. And another thing too, with Kamala Harris, this is what I want to tell people. And I get this. I was trained this way in my family. We never voted for candidates that we loved. We never love a candidate. Never. Not like our family members. We always voted for the least offensive one. We always voted for the person who was sane. If Kamala Harris said, I want to be sitting up in the White House for another 20 years, I wouldn't have voted for her. I voted for the person who knew the rules of the government. And also, I believe that we could have made it another 4 years where we could have had more options, and more Republican options or Democratic options. But this man now is basically wanting to take over everything for the next 2 decades, basically, and with all this kind of crap. So, and then also that video. That video for me proves to me that the first one, that guy, he was up. Hey, Sherelle, how you doing?
Hey, Mel.
Hey, that video that got eating dinner, that to me, that's so funny and stupid. First off, we all are in we are in indigenous people's land. This was an indigenous people, America was indigenous people's land. This is nobody's home. So the fact that these people can come here from Spain and from London, or wherever they came from back in the old days, and come here and bring their diseases and kill off these beautiful populations of people and claim this to be their land is hysterical. This was never America. This was never your land. America, to me, currently these days is all about money, corporations, and they're not about civil rights, not about human rights. That man in that video at that dinner table proves to me that people like him are weak, insecure, and full with fear. I mean, Donald Trump is full with fear too. He's afraid of everything. That's why they make all these rules. Why in the world would you need to control anybody? Let people live, I mean, I'm not really going to be, too radical, but, I don't want to control anybody. That person that in that dinner, also, most of the MAGA people sound like a Scientologist. Now, they do, you know what? And I'm not sure they are, but I mean, Y'all done research. I've
Mhm.
watched many Scientologist documentaries. They're aggressive and they
Yeah.
never answer your question. If you notice, all his soldiers, I'm going to say soldiers, I don't want to say politicians, because they are not a politician. They are
No, not that far. No.
all his soldiers. They have been sent out into the world with messages to give to people. And when you ask a reasonable question, well, what about in my mind, I was saying to a girlfriend who voted for Trump, I said, well, what about a person, God help them, a person who's blind, deaf, and disabled? What the hell does an immigrant coming from wherever had got to do with their situation? Oh, well, no, you're focused on somebody from 18 to 45 who's going to buy a Tesla, who's going to buy your products. You're focused on commercial and you're focused on buyers. You're not focused on human problems. There are people all over the country that have nothing to do with an immigrant. And they perfectly fine in their homes and budgeting their money. They could have made another 4 years. There are people who are not that. So these people, they never have answers for real people problems, never. So it's kind of funny to me, the Rust Belt, who are filled with all these, abandoned warehouses and problems. Trump and all his cronies, they made trillions of dollars last week. Now I would ask the people, right, but the stock market. Now I ask the people who voted for him, how much money did you make last week in your bank account?
Well, I mean, that'd be not a damn thing. They got paid. Think about the people who with them. Joe Rogan, right?
But
and dude, so many people got paid, and Elon Musk got paid. They saving billions, and basically he got the free reign to even get bigger because Donald Trump ain't that bright. Could be a racist, not that bright. Elon Musk is going to use him up. Believe it.
There's a video going around about how Elon Musk and the Russian guy, I can't think of his name, Putin, helped Trump win the election. But if you put it on your channel, they will take the video down.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that? I haven't shown it to you. Have you seen it, Harry?
I know, but I heard
step
something
by
about
step
it.
how he won the election. But I want to say this, and I know I'm a Black woman, and I'm supposed to not give a damn, but I used to live in Southern California, and it has a huge Spanish population. And you could be driving down the freeway at night in certain areas. I'm thinking near the Camp Pendleton area, and you could see a group of migrants running across the dangerous freeway. So just a lot of Hispanics there, and that's why I learned Spanish. Hablo español porque it's so many Hispanics there, and a lot of my friends are Mexican. And I just don't know how, as a human being, you could watch people being pulled out of their homes, children, babies, grabbed out of the mother's arms. My friend would tell me she was undocumented. Her journey of coming here, it's not easy. She got raped. The coyote stole her money. They don't do this for fun. They want a better life. I know I'm not supposed to give a damn. I'm on vacation, but I'm just trying to say nobody's doing this because they're bad and evil. They want a better life for their family. But just like anybody, all races have their people that are going to be crooks no matter what, but you can't blame the whole race. You can't put barbed wire, razor wire in water so a mother who's carrying her baby gets her legs scratched up as a deterrent from coming to America.
Right.
In these detention centers,
I call them cages,
whatever you call them, it was chills went down my spine when you read the reason why Hitler put them into camps, later to be known as concentration camps. And I don't know if people know this. While the war was going on and they were putting Jewish people in these camps, the regular civilians didn't know that they were getting unalived. It just, when you just show he's taking this script out of Hitler's book. He wants to be a dictator. And these people voted for him. When he told you during the rallies what he was going to do, make it make sense. I know I'm not supposed to care, but I got a lot of Mexican, not even Hispanic, Mexican friends And I know when her brother got deported, the whole family was crying. It just they're trying to rip families apart, but no, now he's got a new plan. If one undocumented member is in the house, he's going to take the whole family, people that are United States born citizens. Make that make sense.
Right. And
I don't know. I'm too caring for shit like this.
No,
And you're scary. It's only a matter of time before he starts messing up the black people, because
he coming. He
we
coming.
got cages for us too. They call them prisons.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And they will put you in one for anything. And our black men, like my son's friend, just a life sentence for selling weed. Something we can go to the dispensary and buy. Everybody better be careful. We got to stick together, and we have to do the best we can to stop this maniac. He's inhumane. He's inhumane. I seen him one time. You know, his nieces and nephews and cousins are coming forward. Now, when your own family say you're a horrible person, one of his nephews was talking about how he has a handicapped son. He has some kind of disease where he can't walk, and he called his uncle because they have a pot of money to take care of him. And he said, you know, uncle, we're running out of money. And Donald Trump told this man, and I'm going to find this tape. He said, he doesn't even know you anyway. Go ahead and let him die, and then just move down to Florida. That was a solution.
Yeah.
We got to find that tape.
Sure, I'm telling you, he don't give a damn about nobody. And what you're saying, yeah, I get it. It's not going to be pretty. I mean, I hated it when they had the people coming over and living in cages on the border of Arizona, Texas, you know, separating the families.
In the hot sun,
This shit, now, it was bad then when a lot of people were saying, no, watch how you do it. But it's going to get worse now when he feel like he got everybody's support.
Right. And you know, I was going to say too, this is what I want to say too, the MAGA people, and not all of the people are MAGA, racist, whatever, not all that. But this is the thing I thought was so annoying this election. They kept complaining about a lot of problems that I didn't agree with, but some things I had concerns about. We as Democrats do see the issues in this country. We just have different solutions. The simple fact is, with Kamala Harris, I believe that she would have done more. You know, America is always going to have a problem. I personally don't want to have a conversation about problems in this country with a person who tells people to put Lysol on their lungs. I don't want to do that. I want to have something with somebody who's rational. I believe that she would have seen the issues that's going on and figure out a better way to get people to come into the country who are in danger. Because yes, I live in New York City. It's been, you know, it's not been the best thing. I don't want people to be dying and hurting and all that. And I've actually donated and actually helped somebody become a citizen. That's why when this election thing happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I was feeling a little certain way about different things. But yeah, I mean, there's problems. As a Democratic voter for Kamala Harris, there are problems. But I do believe that with her or somebody who's sane, we would have had better solutions. Right now, it's all about the survival of the fittest. You know, they have no solutions for no other groups at all. Nothing, no answers. All they want to do is just force, and lies. No answers, and just rhetoric all the time. It's crazy.
My thing is this. Go ahead, Shreya.
The only thing we can really do is rallies and march and try to make some noise. But Perry, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I heard something about they're making it against the law to march and have rallies. Can you look into that? I think I heard that. They want to take away.
Well, Shreya, you know what? Look, they possibly doing that. But if they give cops immunity, that's automatic.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
No, I'm just keeping it real. I mean, the hell what's on paper. If cops got immunity, they going to go wild.
Right.
So I would tell. So I wouldn't get depressed, guys. You know what I would tell you? This is what I'm doing. I was very depressed, and I'll share this story, and hopefully it helps everybody. I was very depressed with this whole thing because I'm thinking about. I have relatives who have disabilities. I never said it on YouTube, but they do, and I actually take care of my grandmother who has some issues, and you know, she's not a rich woman, so this is what got me very angry. I said, oh my gosh. So when my family gets involved, I get nuclear. I'm not an angry person. I get totally insane nuclear. And that's just part of my personality. So what I had to do to calm down was I called up the local officials that I kind of talk to every now and then. I looked up, I would tell the audience, go to Google, and I want you to put into Google whorepresentsme.org, and then put your city right there, and you'll be able to find who is representing your little town, your community. Call them up real quick and ask them, because that's what I did. Ask them about Project 25. I even called Washington to get, because the person wasn't here in New York City, so I ended up calling there and they get information. So that was step one. Also, the protesting is good, but for this community, for our community, join your local community board. Because there you'll be able to start voting on things in your city now because of Obama, because of Trump. So this project thing, and what I'm learning, I'm trying to learn fast. He's trying to take America back before the New Deal. Yeah, I remember a wonderful picture called Grapes of Wrath, when people just, it was a brilliant picture my mother introduced me to, where people just were starving, and just, it was before the Depression, and that's what he's trying to take people back to. In that time, the corporations made a lot of money, and if you happen not to be physically fit, or if you were disabled, if you were trans, if you were Black or whatever, you had a hard, terrible time. And if you weren't what the government thought of as perfect, you just had a tough time. So that's kind of what's going on, and it's all about the states. So the states are the most important under Trump, because he don't want to do on a federal level. He don't want to do state and federal. He only wanted to focus on state, and in my opinion, it's alleged dirty deals with the people that got him into office. So the states are the most important thing. You want to find out who represents you. When you're there with your local official, you want to ask them, listen, I want to join the board, because most of the Trump people, this is a gag right here, they're not on our local community boards. Because I looked around, they're not there. We can actually take those spaces back where we can make votes on things. And that
right.
outside.
But you got to start before that, Mel. My son, he's 21. All of his friends come over here in their early 20s. All of them didn't vote. I said, why not? It is not a part of my life. What? So what you got to do to help yourself, first you got to educate yourself. You have to stay up front. You have to know what laws are being passed, what they're talking about, what's going on. We, in our age group, what we do at the end of the night, we come home, we watch MSNBC, CNN, or the news. Young people don't do none of that. Yeah. They don't even know who their attorney general is. They don't know anything. And I asked one of them who said, well, if I vote, I'm voting for Trump. I said, how many Black people were in his first administration? He had no idea. I said, one, Ben Carson. So you got to start by educating yourself.
And Ben Carson wasn't shit. What kind of job did they give him? In charge of the minority housing.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. Yeah. And they gave them that job so they can pass down what they want to have to the minorities. And it seemed like, oh, they didn't do it. The ninja did it.
Right. I think the whole campaign, especially for immigrants and people, I want to say people called Black people, African American. I'm not going to talk about other groups because they can handle themselves. The idea is that make housing harder to get, make education harder to do. What happens when an American person can't get a good education and can't get housing? They will now, I won't use a slave word, but I was talking to some friends of mine, that puts you into a position where you're working for people that you don't respect. You can't even open up a business because you can't get the right loan and stuff. So when these Manosphere people, and I'll use the name Manosphere, they're like, oh, business, 100,000. I'm like, brothers, the simple fact is, if you don't have human rights and civil rights, you're a poor man in this country. Yeah. If Oprah Winfrey, of all people, was saying, I'm a billionaire, but I can't go to Chanel and to other places if I'm not dressed up in my rich woman's drag. If I'm not dressed in all my diamonds, I'm going to get treated like a regular Black person. We are voting to try to change that over time. So these Manosphere people who took over the election, and also another thing too, it was the Generation X, which I'm not a part of barely, but the Generation X I thought was interesting, and I need a YouTube person to do a thesis on this because it's a really hot story. There's a connection here. The Generation X was the main group, men and women, white or whatever, that pushed this election over the top. Well, when it's funny that that Joe Rogan and what's his name, Trump and Leon were very big in those people's minds, but that's like the MTV era. I remember on this very popular podcaster on Road Rules. Of course, Joe Rogan was on Fear Factor. And Trump was very popular in 2000. These are all D-list reality people from the 2000s, now they're running the world. How is that happening? So we have to really make the connection. And but also the reason they are because, well, I'm talking to Sherelle and you, y'all already know all this very well. So I'm just catching myself up, like, yeah, I know YouTube and all that. So what I'm learning as a layman is that if you have an association with somebody like a Heidi from the Hills or whatever, and you're like, oh, I remember her from my childhood. Well, I'm going to now follow all her politics, politics. These people are not these sort of skilled, PhD level people. They just have an association with them from their past younger time. And those people that I listed were major back in the 2000s, which is also when these guys and women were coming up. So it's not a coincidence that they took that, they trusted them because they watched them for over 20 years. So now we have to realize, okay, well, this is what's going on, because there's a connection there. And that my question for a big video, like a thesis video, would be, how did D-list people, so the reality people from the 2000s take over the world? How did it happen? Like these are they
forgot Sean Duff. It's really, you're telling the truth. I didn't even realize that till you said it.
Yeah, I mean that's just what it is. Because when we watched NBC and all that, they said, "Oh, Dion, I didn't even know who he was." I remember when I was young, I had a crush on him. I can't stand him now. I'm like, oh damn, you messing shit up now. What the fuck?
Okay,
you messing.
anyway,
But D-list road rules.
Terry, I'm gonna drop. Good show tonight. Thank you, Mel, for coming on.
Thank you,
guys.
Later, Sherelle. You know what, Mel? I'm gonna say this too. Before we get out of here, the whole thing is this, right? I understand people will say I was hurting for money. We all were, still is. Ain't shit changed, right? Like, how can somebody lose their morals? And I get it. Like, if your baby was starving, then you may have to go and steal. But you only did it out of necessity, right? How could all these religious people that said they're pro-life and all that stuff, and supposed to have morals, vote for a damn felon? You understand what I'm saying? Like, and all these black people or Latinos, Hispanic, oh yeah, we did it for the economy. Okay, now just because the price of bread is high or whatnot, do that give you a right to break laws and rules? I don't even know how the man could vote. How could he vote with a felon, 34 charges, and a person in prison can't? Right? It's just weird how these church people, now, if anybody, like, oh, here's the guy, he just taught, his border czar, used to be a cop, right? I don't know, 43 years or whatever. He was a cop for a long time. How could a person that practiced rules and arrested people for breaking the law team up with a felon and believe it's okay now? You see what I'm saying? It's all a money grab, right? It's like a mob mentality. And all these people that think they gonna get their handed out, no, you ain't in that club, baby. You ain't no millionaire. You ain't up there to get the Trump funds. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy.
Well, and you know what some people, in the comment section, all over the place, if you're a Kamala Harris voter, they try to like, oh, don't convince me, you lost, whatever. I'm like, listen, I'm doing the work. I'm not worried about anything. But what I will tell you as a MAGA supporter, research. You've already voted for the man. Now research and prove people like us wrong that we're making these things up. I think also the simple fact is, another thing I heard was family values. Now, whatever that means. Now, I heard reports, as I said on your show before, that after he did that stunt on a microphone, that was disgusting. There were other grade school people not knowing what it was, but the reports was that they were in school afterwards, playing around with their crayons and whatever else, pretending to be like this possible president. I'm thinking, okay, well, parents, you don't want somebody reading your children a story, but you rather a maniac teach them, show them something that's totally inappropriate. Now they're mimicking. It's great, and that probably won't be the last time he does something, that kids will end up mimicking. People need to protect their children from him. And that's what the funny part is. Like, how can you? Oh, he's like Santa Claus. He's the most safest person in America. Like, are you stupid? Like, no. Stupid.
I guess this is the part, Mel, I'm gonna say that keep bothering me, right? Is that, like you said, family values, right? Oh, we only voted for him because our concern was the economy. and family value. How could you vote for a person that you won't leave alone with your child? Right? I mean, it's hard for me to understand that, but I know it's a lot of shit gonna come down, but people think still today, they starting to understand some real precaution, some real shit gonna be going down January 20th. But some people still think, oh no, it's not gonna happen to me. It's just everybody else. I'm telling you, Hispanics, Latinos, Blacks, you've been getting it out the whole damn time. You're next. So, but Mill, I'm gonna tell you this. Thanks for popping up, brother. I'm
All right.
a little bit left of this game and stuff. But everybody, thanks for coming. If you like the video, it helps out a lot. Can you give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified? Because I got a feeling the way things are changing rapidly, might be back tomorrow, but if not, I'll put regular videos out to updates and stuff. So, Mel, thanks for joining me, my brother.
Absolutely. Keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. But people, thanks for coming. I truly appreciate it. And I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.